What up? What up? This is Anthony Davis. You checking out Day One Radio? Yeah, yo. Cool.
The business.
Welcome back to another episode, another installment of Day One Radio, right here on ablradio.com. That's Art, Beats, and Lyrics Radio to be exact. Make sure you download the very free, very accessible smartphone app for your iPhone and Android devices. And B, tell them where they can find the entire Day One catalog at.
Man, you can find us a few places. Find us on SoundCloud. Find us on day1radio.com. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker. Everywhere your finer podcasts are sold for free, so you can check us out, man. So how your week been, man? We ain't been in here in a couple of weeks, bro. It feels like it's been a minute.
You know what, man? The last couple of weeks have been cool, been pretty chill, man. Nothing too crazy, man. I don't know if I'm just getting old, but I really don't be remembering, man. I don't know if the days running to each other or what, man.
You don't even smoke weed like that. So.
All right, I like that.
That's weird. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Fucking hip hop trivia was lit.
Oh yes, of course. As always, man. Shout out to everybody that's been coming out each and every Wednesday. We really appreciate y'all, man. We have a good time in there, man. The host included. We even have a good ass time in there.
Shout out to Crystal. Like, bro, I didn't realize that we had been getting like write ups and stuff. Like, I haven't been paying attention. Like, Time Out Atlanta put us in there a couple times, and I didn't even know that you had did something with Hip Hop Wired, and obviously we talked about the creative loafing thing, and it was something else, like 2 or 3 other ones.
I don't do clubs.
Yeah, I don't do clubs. Somebody from Blue Magazine hit us up on the email the other day. So it's dope, man. People paying attention, and we got a lot of big stuff coming up for you, man. So, but the voice that you had heard ad-libbing, because I think he really wants to be a rapper, is our homie. So this interview is probably going to go a little differently than, a lot of interviews go, because we all know each other. This is his second time on the show, one of the few repeat guests.
That's right.
He has a new album out, 2-3 days ago, The Powerful Now.
Yepperding.
He was supposed to be here last week, but he was yelling at the MMA fight and lost his voice. So, we got him a few days after the album drop, but it's still all good. It's still hot and new because, this isn't a Young Thug, Lil Yachty album. It has a shelf life.
Right.
Well, I mean, Thugger has somewhat of a shelf life, man. I mean,
that's because he released shit every 3 weeks.
Right.
That was the longest intro in the world for the one and only R&B singer, writer, Grammy-nominated original Edgewood dweller, Anthony Davis.
Thank you.
For sure. What's good, man?
Chilling, man. They got a blog called I Don't Do Clubs.
Yes.
I really wanted to jump in on that. Yeah, I need to read that blog.
Yes, it's for people that don't do clubs, people that are of a certain age, people with kids.
Like myself. Well, I don't got kids.
Right.
But,
None of us do, but yeah. I don't do clubs either.
I don't do clubs either.
Yeah. Me either.
I do the lounge. You know what's so funny? When I was a kid, I used to, I wasn't a kid. It was like, I remember laughing at my daddy for going to lounges because we had like the Casablanca Lounge in Savannah and all these names was like smooth daddy names. And now I like the lounge.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I'll go to a party. Yes. I go to a dope party. Yes. I'm cool on the Saturday night. I'm good on that.
He's in free before blah, blah,
yeah, I don't want to be anywhere where anyone gets in free before a certain time.
Matter of fact, everybody should get in free where I'm going.
Exactly.
We're buying drinks or something. Like, we don't have to pay to get in. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm all
but lounges are actually taking over the city now, man. Like, I don't know.
So is that an old people thing or is that just
no? It's a people that's tired of club thing, and it seems like this is an everybody thing. Cause I was talking to the homie DJ MLK. You know what I'm saying? It's like all he does is lounges now. Lounges, different restaurants. He's like, man, that club DJ stuff in the A is kind of dying off because like the big clubs aren't what they used to be. Right?
Nah, they're not at all. Not at all. So yeah, man, brand new album.
Brand new album, yes.
It's funny, man, because you are one of the few artists where I saw you post something like, I read the bad reviews too.
Actually, that turned out to be a good one, right? But I was wondering about that one. That's the one that I would, All Music. I don't know any of those people, but I like their reviews, so I've always kind of like been like, uh-oh, what they gonna say?
And there is a difference. I tell artists all the time, man, when people like you, there's a different rapport. You can have average music, but if people like you, you're going to get some looks. They're going to look at it differently. It's the same with any art. I was lollygagging like crazy and did some stuff for the BBC. And my guy was like, yeah, I'm out of the office for the week, but I'm going to have the deputy editor dig into this. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I don't know him. Right. And I'm sensitive about my work.
Right. That's how it was, too. I was like, man, how they going to, like, that one was one I don't even know the people. I never met none of those people from All Music, but I always liked their reviews of the stuff. I generally like if the writer can write, you know, and then sometimes you could pick out stuff when they say, well, he tried to do this and blah, 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 you know, and if sometimes they're right, like, oh, I did try to do that, and you didn't think I made it? Oh, you know what I'm saying? But, I respect that, but I don't even like a good review if it's written poorly. Like if the person just don't get it, they might be saying, oh, and then he went in and he did this and that was fantastic. I'm like, that's not even what I was trying to do. Damn. You know what I mean? So, but I like, you know, I do read. I read the reviews I run across. You know,
I didn't. You know, you're probably like one of the few people that I've met that said that they actually read reviews, because so many artists that I've interviewed and talked to over the years are like, the first advice I give to any new artist is don't read the reviews. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna mess up your day. It's gonna mess up how you make your music. Like, don't even read it. And then you have some people on the other side. Well, not the other side, but some people think, well, they look at it the same way that they look at sports commentators. Like, well, if you ain't playing the guitar, if you ain't singing, how are you going to write about something that you can't do? You know what I'm saying?
I feel that way a little bit too. I read certain people, not even of my own stuff, but I'll read somebody else's review of, you know, somebody else's album. I'm like, and I could tell like that this writer probably should just be a novel writer, because it's like they be writing so creative, but it's like, and then they write around the damn.
I always feel like if you're a writer and I can read a few sentences and before looking at the byline I know who wrote it, right, you're probably not a good writer because it's you just got the same style every time. Like sometimes you kind of got to play with it. But I've been reading a lot of bad writing lately, particularly on these music sites. Like
with these blogs and
stuff.
I could do it.
I've like got through a paragraph, be like, I can't do it. Right. Like, let me just skim for the point, like the headline and what I really wanted to know. Right. I was trying to give you a shot and read all of this, but it ain't really happening. You just tried to turn a 2-word story into 400 words, and it ain't handling at all.
But but that was a good review, a very good review. Actually, the best review I read, and I posted that before I read it. So,
also, not a good thing to do.
Well, I was just like, well, I've been reading all of them, and I posted those that was like blatantly positive. Right. And this one, I was just like, let me just go ahead and post it before I you know what I mean? Yeah. And I liked it. It was the best review.
So the Powerful Now, which is, you know, obviously a nod to just enjoying and embracing the present. Yeah. What made you go in that direction with it?
Some of it, funny enough, it came from some of our interview the first time I was on here. I think felt like there was a moment I felt like we was just talking about stuff from way back. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then so I got to the point where, and that's something that's been a reoccurring theme of my life, where I'm like, I never want to be on some like, man, back in the day we used to bloop. You know, of course, back in the day is always good, but I want every time that I'm in, that I'm conscious of, to be the best time. You know what I mean? Right. And so I just wanted to make sure, especially approaching a new record, that I wasn't trying to like be about nothing in the past. You know what I mean?
Like, because I'm sure you've had different stages in your career, so I'm sure you get tired of, hey man, this Anthony David that, you know, he used to write for India. Yeah. Or you know, this Anthony David, he had the Forevermore song. Yeah. This like you know, I'm still working. Right. I'm still doing shows regularly. Right. You know. Right.
That's basically it. Like, there's always trying to like do something now that means something. You know what I mean? Right. And so, approaching it I just felt like, I had a good amount of time. I hadn't done a record in 4 years, so that was the reason why I did stuff when I felt like it, and I did stuff like that I liked, and I did stuff the way I wanted to do it, and so now
people often like automatically box you into the acoustic thing, and what I noticed with this one is it's not really an acoustic album at all.
There's one song that has, and even that got the boom on it. I mean, my first album, it's my fault. My first album was acoustic,
right?
And I guess if I was one of those artists that been out, say if I'm just throwing somebody out, Slim and 112, and I just made an acoustic album, right?
How the hell did you come with Slim and 112 randomly?
I don't know. Maybe you kind of look like Slim. That's not a bad thing.
You already know.
Yeah. So say if I was like somebody known for something and then but that was my first record, and I think people and then what was I so people didn't know that isn't really just. I mean, they would have no clue that they probably think that I'm an acoustic artist,
right?
Because that's what I was doing, and so but that's not where all my interests are. You know what I mean? That just so happened to be where I was at that time. I do like to play the guitar. I like the guitar, so it's in there. But but I haven't done that. I do like 2 or 3 on every album. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, changing the perception of it, whatever.
It's like you said this is like your first album in 4 years, and you said you were pretty much taking your time because you wanted to make sure that you were doing stuff that you wanted, stuff that you liked. Do you think that fans are starting to understand that about their favorite artists? Because case in point, folks was sweating Frank Ocean for 4 or 5 years, and then when it comes out, they realize, oh, well, for one, he was trying to get the contract stuff done, and two, he was falling back for a minute. There was even, I've even heard people say the same thing about folks like, Andre 3000, where it's like, yo, man, let them have their time to create. But it seems like some people can get so thirsty in this internet age when they're used to somebody coming out with a song every other day.
Yeah, that's a problem. All that, and then you could tell, it's just too much stuff going on. But the artists that I like, I've always thought that about Sade. I remember she the one with pearls on it. What's the name of the album?
The Diamond Life?
Yeah, is that it? It might have been. I don't know. Whatever the name of the album.
You guys are the only 2 Sade fans in this room, so I wouldn't know.
That's
you probably talking about Soldier of Love. You're talking about a Gap album.
Yeah. And so the thing was, but all her albums are Gap albums, and it's like I did some shit when I was ready. You know what I mean? And I always, way back, respected that because it always sounded like, wow, you had something to say. You know what I mean? And so I always like that. And this stuff, this business you got to handle. You know what I'm saying? I be switching labels all the time, and you know what I'm saying? And then you want to make sure that if you go to something that the business is right, and then you also just got to handle old business, and and then there's the creative side too. Where if you made 5 albums, which this is my 6th album, you don't want to repeat yourself that much. You know what I mean? And you want to have a perspective on some things. So
you're on like you said, you on a new label now, and the label story is super interesting.
My label or
it's
say the name of the label again for folks that are interested.
It kind of because they're from Ireland or something, right?
Well, they probably been bought, all these
right. But I thought it was interesting because it's a lot of
they started
our era R&B artists on the label.
Oh, where?
Yeah, Silk is on the label. Yeah, they got a few,
Yeah. It's I think it I know that I don't know all of their history. I read it before, but I can't remember it all. But I know at one point they had it was funny because the label, the play I did last year, Paramount Records on the history of Paramount Records, an old blues label. This label acquired all the stuff from that, so that was one of the things that got to me when we did the deal. And then they've done I guess they do I guess you could say folk music. They've been kind of known for that, but then they in recent years have gotten into R&B and soul. So and another part of it for me was that they did a good job with Avery Sunshine. Shout out to her on her last record. So I was like, I like what's going on over there. And then the guy Randall came up to me at a show in Philly. So we worked it out.
Yeah, I was peeping the label because I was like, what does that mean or whatever? Because
I don't even know what it means.
Yeah, but I saw they got Will Downing, they got Angie Stone.
Oh, yeah, I don't be knowing whatever.
Yeah, they got Incognito. This dude, I told you really want to be a rapper.
I know about me, and I knew Avery because I like to work, because I know Avery. Yeah. And then I did kind of know about Silk.
He's like, bro, I go to my cubicle, then I go home, bro.
Right.
Hilarious. So with the album, man, like, were you recording it over the whole
time
period of time?
Yeah, for the most part. Like there's stuff like my process is I just jot stuff down here and there and do my own beats on it, and then if I feel like, man, I like this song but I need this beat to be harder, I was trying to do this but I don't really know how to do that. So you're saying
Quentin Miller didn't write anything on it?
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Nah, because I was peeping. I was like, it starts off with one vibe, and then it goes into a different vibe, and then you kind of got some of the love songs at the end. But I thought Ride On was dope. Like, what inspired you to go in that direction for a song?
That's like I be in moods, so that was like my Organized Noise homage. You know what I mean? Like that when I first made the beat to that, I was like, boom, and I was like, that feels like something like, you know what I'm saying, that like I felt like Goody Mob or whoever would rap over it. I just felt like that wasn't a vibe that had been out in a minute. And then I ran across, and I only had one line really, and that line was from about 4 years ago. Really, I made that early, and then I ain't have nothing else. And then my boy Devon Houston, he made that documentary about Outkast, not Outkast the rap group, but Outkast the motorcycle gang.
You're like the third person that's like brought that up.
Have you not seen that yet?
I haven't seen it. My man sent me the link to it.
You got to have him on here. Y'all would love.
You know what we do, man?
With him,
we do, man, because that documentary was dope, man.
I haven't even watched it. Jason Staten sent it to me.
Of course,
and I was like, I gotta take a flight tomorrow. I'll probably watch it on the plane tomorrow.
Got to. Vimeo on demand. But so when he was making the movie, I had just had that one line about the boy or whatever. I was like, what am I doing? I don't even know where it's going. And then he was like, yo, I need a movie. Me and Devon been cool since school. So he was like, I need something for the movie. And I was like, that's what this is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And really, that's just an exercise in creativity. I was just like, give me some, I don't know nothing about motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, give me some words and let me figure this out. Like, let me see a couple scenes, you know what I mean? And I went off of that. And I just ended up liking the vibe so much that I was like, I know this is going to make the record.
And you actually busted a verse, about an 8? Was that about 8 bars?
Out of my league? I think it's 12.
It's 12? Okay.
Yeah,
it's about 12.
Yeah, that's my first one on a record. I've been doing the mixtapes where I've done mixtapes where I rhyme on stuff, but I ain't ever like rhymed on a record. But I was like, fuck it. It's going in.
Hilarious. Nah, that was dope.
But it made sense. You know what I'm saying? That's
it did.
El Poos kind of homage right there. So I guess you could say in some ways the past crept into things, but I had to do that.
Like, it's funny that you talked about, finally getting, to rap on a record. Like, Atlanta's predominantly known as a rap city. Yeah. It seems like folks just figure, like, nobody in Atlanta sings anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like what did you think?
Monica and that's it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like why do you think, like, I guess, like, indie or independent R&B artists aren't necessarily as revered as the rappers in the city? Because, like, if you make a rap song, it can go on the radio tomorrow, get on all the blogs. If you're singing, it's like, well, you got to catch them on Tuesdays at Apache, then you got to catch them Thursdays at so-and-so.
Well, you know what, though? Rappers it's part of the game to, like, shout out where you're from. And I don't know if that always fits in the music. Like, you can't be like, I'm from ATL. You just can't. It just don't work, I guess. And then I don't know. People don't always be wanting to rep it. It's weird. Like, 112 does, you know what I'm saying? I mean, their name is straight up from Atlanta. Yeah. Monica does. I always get mad about India about, like, I always felt like that was something we didn't like really put a stamp on, like, you know what I mean? Because this is a scene, and this is some shit that comes from Atlanta, been coming from Atlanta forever, you know what I mean? And from Georgia, period. And I feel like, it's kind of our job to do that, like, a little bit, like, hey, this comes out of here too, like, it ain't just this or whatever. But I don't know. People don't always recognize. To this day, some people don't know I'm from here. Like, I'll see them and they be like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Dude, I live right there."
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny you said, because, like, you have cities like your Philadelphias where it's like
Yeah.
You know Jill Scott from there.
Yeah.
You know Music or whatever name he's going by is from
he
there.
live here. He's been living here for the longest. But yeah, like I don't get that. Like
We need
like,
to get him on too.
Like even Janelle,
Make that
like that's I could do that. But you know, yeah, I don't know why they don't do that.
Is it because there's a
more.
Philadelphia sound?
I guess you could
And
say
like
did have
in
a sound.
Atlanta,
it ain't really a sound, is it? Yeah.
yeah, like because it's and not in a bad way.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
just-
it's so varied. Like Janelle
Yeah.
Monáe doesn't sound like you. You don't sound like Monica. You know,
right.
Monica doesn't sound like India. It's like all of you guys are, but everybody works together. Everybody jams together. Everybody's been on the scene together at some point.
It's like the live. I know before we started making records, the live, like when Philly was making records, and we were doing this live scene thing.
Yeah.
And then we did start making, and it didn't have like a distinct sound as far as like the R&B, so or the whatever soul, neo soul, all that stuff.
I feel like
We didn't have to.
Wonderland is trying to be that. It's like the
Yeah.
Sugar Hill
Yeah.
on record
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're stamping it Atlanta like that, but yeah, they definitely are a camp. I like that. I like that they do that.
Definitely. What like, and you like you said, you've been on different labels. You've done it indie. You've had success, but what is success like from a? I mean, not even from a numbers perspective, just period. Like, what does success look like for an R&B artist dropping an album these days that's not
Right.
Tory Lanez, you know what I'm saying, or something like that?
No, I mean, just working. You know what I'm saying? Definitely want to see a rise in what you're doing. But yeah, just working, like, and being able to like consistently tour, consistently. I don't know if it's about selling records. People don't sell records, but I mean, just don't. People don't buy records like that. But the records are representative of whatever it is, your movement, your style, your scene, whatever. And you know, maybe you endorse products here and there. Those are things I've been looking forward to. Stuff that I actually like.
Right.
And touring. You know, that's all I can imagine what it is. Like increasing your visual. What is it? Your visibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I've heard artists like say something similar to that, where it's like they're like, you know, I ain't selling a gazillion records, but I'm in Switzerland singing, nigga. You know,
yeah. You know, and
I'm going to Brazil tomorrow, bro.
Right. Especially if you're doing it consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love traveling. I mean, but you know, the bottom line is, like any career out there, you want to be able to like put some stuff away and do all the stuff that people to be working their jobs do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But doing something you like.
So obviously we sitting in Atlanta, even though it don't feel like Atlanta right now because they're filming Spider-Man 27.
Oh, is that what it is?
Outside, yeah. So they done turned the MLK and Peachtree in the 21st in Duro.
Yeah, right.
With a bodega and a hot dog stand and Queens Community Bank. It's crazy over here. Yeah. But, you know, Atlanta is everything, you know, is filmed here. Now, I think they said they had 300-something projects filmed here last year, and one of them is Atlanta, which is Donald Glover's show, which we were talking about before we came on.
Yeah.
Now, you haven't seen it yet, but September 6th, you should definitely watch. Like, it's worth it. It's worth DVRing. It's worth doing whatever you do. So
I see what you was doing. You was playing cool. So
nah, I mean, you know me, bro. He was
making
making fun of
nowadays,
us.
No, y'all good at this. I peeped this on like some other interviewers a long time. I peeped it with what's her name, Rosie O'Donnell back in the day. People that do interviews, they be real chill about their reaction to everything until they do the interview, so you don't want to blow.
I honestly wasn't doing it. He was making fun of us because Maurice said it was fire.
It was cool.
And I said it was cool, but you know,
you didn't want
cool.
to let it out.
But being cool is a compliment.
Like
if I say it's all right, then it's just all right. If I say it's cool, it's on point.
I can see what AD is saying though, because like
it was the
like
tone.
Sometimes when you say cool, it can sound off-putting. Because I remember the homie Spree Wilson. He used to ask me what I thought about some of his songs, and when he was singing to me, and I'd be like, "Oh, that shit was cool." He was like, "Nigga, I be reading your articles, man. When you say something cool, you ain't really fuck with that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the tone. He was like, "It's cool," and he was like, "But you said it's fire, but you can't tone down fire."
Nah, you really can't.
But there was now I think you're about to really let it out. You love it. You must really love it.
The show was dope.
Well,
as hell,
we saw,
man.
the first, couple episodes. They had a couple screenings out here in Atlanta, and it's dope. And I mean, it's funny that we were talking about representing Atlanta. Like, this is the most Atlanta representative piece of media, not just show, piece of media that I've seen or heard in forever. And it's very nuanced. It's like, if you've lived in Atlanta before,
you got it.
Like the scene, the jail scene,
man,
where homeboy was telling the story.
They had the whole like this shit jail scene.
Nah, it didn't. I don't know. That jail I had never been to, so I don't know if that's a real jail or not. Not that I go to jail
none
like
of us
that,
are jail experts.
Yeah,
I've
not
been
a
to
jail.
that jail. but I remember.
It was a particular scene where a guy was telling a story, and I was like, "Yo, if you have ever met a true Atlantan, that is exactly what you was hearing." So I'm wondering how it's going to translate to people that have never spent time here.
Yeah.
But I think because of the whole Donald Glover thing, they'll pull him
his
in.
thing, man. I like that. I like that he took that angle. I definitely want to go see. I want to see it. So
yeah, and and at the screening, like I pulled him to the side and talked to him. I was like, bro, as somebody who has been trying to break into television but not get jerked on a project, I commend you for hiring only black writers on your staff.
I heard about that.
An Asian director.
He's going hard.
I respect it.
That dude, it's gonna be interesting. Like watching him. Like what is he? 20? How old is he?
He's young as hell. Like he's
that
definitely in his 20s.
30.
Nah.
So when he's 30 or 40, that's gonna be an interesting.
He's gonna be Spielberg or something, dude. Like this dude is special, man, and he seems to be extremely humble, which is dope as hell. So yeah, man. Hopefully, he stay at it. But I thought that was super dope, man. So.
So y'all ain't give me the damn review of my album. All right, I'm sitting back.
Hilarious.
It's cool. This makes for a great show if it's really bad. So.
Nah, I mean, I think it's dope, and I don't. It's weird listening to people that you know.
Right.
Like
it's hard for me to like. I didn't care much about what people that I know think of it because you can't. They're too close to it. Like I don't like listening. So this is.
Do you listen to your own?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Really, like you ride around?
Yeah. Now my problem is, and now I'm back though. Like when I did this one and I finished, I listened. I had to stop for about a month, and just so I could get away from it because I'll hate it. Like get all in my head. While I'm making each song, obviously, if I decide to put that on the thing, I think it's great. But then when I start listening to them all together, I'll be like, or if I mess around and have somebody come through and listen, and they don't do what I want them to do, because they're doing something else, or I take all that shit just too personal. So I just like, oh damn, like, and then I just start not. But now that it's out and I see people like respond, I actually see people really using it. I like, oh yeah, okay, it's cool. And I stopped listening. So now I listen to it on the way. I just came back from Nashville. I listened to it on the way to Nashville, and I was very happy.
Well, I'll say this: it's definitely if I'm listening to a project and I favorite songs, then that means I'm wrestling with it. Yeah, it's some joint. I think. Through the first listen, my favorite joint on there is probably Charge.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
That joint
it's like being that you know so many people, because it seems like a lot of your fans.
Shout out to Carmen though, by the way, because that is a great one. I love that one.
It seems like a lot of your fans are people that either like have mutual friends with you. It seems like your fan base is almost like a family. Like if they go into your shows because like, oh man, my homeboy put it on, my homegirl put me on, or I know him, or we got a mutual friend. But with
dude took my girlfriend.
But with that kind of synergy, with that kind of synergy, does anybody really like come at you like, hey man, this one, I don't know.
Yeah, people tell me they don't like stuff. And people tell me they don't like stuff. But nah, you know what? They only like I talk to the reviewers or like whatever. Like there's one dude in London that he just always he hates the Afrobeat one, right? And then the dude, actually Randall, that runs a label, he hates it. Well, he kind of like it now.
Yeah,
but he didn't like it at first. But
that's you going to all them Caribbean parties and
like,
African parties. That's what that
That's
was.
one of my favorite joints. And I needed to have that out there. I needed to like get that out. I mean, that ain't the last one. That ain't even
trying to get booked at the African party, man.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, no, that's a real thing, man. I was reading,
but that's what it is.
I was reading a Danny Brown interview, and like a lot of folks hated his last album. They're like, man, what are you doing? He was like, nigga, I'm trying to get booked at these EDM festivals. That's what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, well, did he abandon like everybody?
Yeah, his last album, like, you know, I mean, not this one that's about to come out, but the one before that.
You
like, he
also got to remember, though, Danny Brown is from Detroit.
Yeah, so,
and that's what they listen to.
They do, what they do, but he never just went hardcore into it.
Is it like, good? Like the stuff? Is it good at being?
It's cool.
It was cool.
That's my thing too. Is that if you make a change or you do something different and you do it legit, you know, I'll try to give you. I mean, I speak as a person that listens to music too, as a fan of music, and like as long as it's good, like I mean, and I really love the model that Outkast put out there. Like they just never stuck with, you know, people was like. And they would address it in the album. You know what I mean? Like, we was like this. Now I changed. You know what I mean? And I like this too. And I didn't really change, but I expanded what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember hearing, like, Bombs Over Baghdad and was like, I love this. I don't know if this is going to work. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this is legit. And then it worked. You know what I mean? So I like people to take chances. I like to take chances.
Yeah, I remember when that came out, I was still in college. We was in the dorm, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, I can't smoke to this shit.
I mean, I honestly think though it's like everything that they tried worked, except for the Idlewild soundtrack, and it is. I mean, Morris Brown is a jamming ass song.
Yeah, and
like
Hollywood.
But you can always say, "Hey, bro, that was a soundtrack. That wasn't a real album."
Right, right. And that's the thing though. Like, as long as I think each one of them are songs anyway. So if you just fans are weird like that, though. And I've been guilty of the same thing where like. I like an artist so much they do something just a little bit out of the way of what I thought. Then I you know, and I don't even just look at it like, well, that's just a song. Let's listen to the other song. Oh, he got me right here. We good.
It's hard, man.
It is
like,
hard. Yeah.
Even I mean, it's always been like that. But then on the flip side, like you can't. I think Dow Jones, producer, told me years ago because I was like, man, I'm not feeling whatever Kanye album it was, and he was like, bro, after coming out with 3 arguably classic albums, if he would have done a magnificent album on the 4th one that was the same vibe, people would have been like, oh, it's okay, it's all right. But sometimes you got to switch it up to make people appreciate what you're doing. Now I'm waiting for him to go back.
Yeah, me too.
So but
that guy is not coming back.
Yeah, I don't mind switching it up.
I miss the old Kanye. Straight from
that reminds me of what I'm saying about like when you do it good. Because like, yeah, I guess I'm hating on Kanye now, but if you like, I just didn't like that. I know that sound, and I'm like, I know artists that do that, that thing. And so if I don't really like the way you did it, then I think because you did it, I just didn't like it, you know. So that can happen to me too.
Speaking of the way that people are doing things, man, you know, I'm trying to find a way to ask this question without being so broad. But like, what do you think about the quote unquote state of R&B, where you have folks like, you know, like what's the dude that used to Tory Lanez and August Alsina and
I like him.
Now Frank Ocean, even like The Weeknd is like
3. I like 2 Weeknd songs. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Weeknd has 374 songs.
Once they got, I just started liking them though. I like the whatever what's the big song?
I Can't Feel My the Cocaine Anthem.
Nah, oh no, yeah, I like that one. All right, and then there was another one, the slow one.
You deserve
it. That joint is hard. That's like the only Weeknd song I like.
My favorite new artist probably in any of that lane is Miguel. I think he's a classic.
Miguel ain't new no more. Miguel been out for 10 years.
Ain't no 10 years.
No,
Dog, Miguel has been out for
like
10 years.
2 albums.
He doesn't record
well,
3. Yes, he has 3.
I still include him in the lane with Tory Lanez and August Alsina. No?
Nah.
You don't think they would tour together or that?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, well, that's who I like.
I think them dudes want to be rappers. I think Miguel wants to be
R&B, but that's what I mean though. So maybe that's why. Maybe there ain't been nobody to come out to replace or add on to that. That's what he's the artist that I like. I like Frank Ocean. I like this new Frank Ocean. I should say. I listen to that. the other day.
I haven't heard it. I can't get into Frank Ocean.
I like it. I like it a lot. I ain't listened to it but once, but I liked it. I'm gonna get back to that.
But to piggyback off of that, it's like, it seems like the word R&B is like so different from what it used to be. Like you used to granted things change, but it's like this new quote unquote R&B is like.
It's trying to compete with rap.
Yeah, it's got the explicit sticker on it, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's trying too hard. And I get it, though, because, man, it's so weird. Like, this is what's so strange. Like, when, who said this? Like, you know how kids be like, I just like the beat. I don't really care about what they saying. But it's like, well, then you should like this Japanese rap. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, if the beat is jamming, or you should like this.
2000.
Yeah, you should like this African shit. Or you should like this guy just took the same beat and spit something hard. I mean, spit something that's hard, but it's like, I hate using this word, positive on it. But they like, people really don't like certain shit unless it's dead ignorant.
It's funny. It's people can always say, yeah. And when people say, well, I don't like this new whatever, it'd be like, yeah, but that Kendrick, J. Cole, and what, it's like the same three people that always come. But then you have the anomalies, like Royce coming out of nowhere and having the number one album and Layers is
that
crazy.
Was number one? Oh, yeah. That was great. But then so like that Chris Brown song, right? It's a good ass song. No, it's late. Then he go, fuck you back to sleep. And I'm like, yeah, so pretty. Why the fuck did you do that?
But he always said no bullshit. Like he always.
Why? I hate that. It's dope, man. It's a jamming song. No, I have to just ignore that part.
You need to get the clean version.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, why do I got to become the cranky old dude? Just like, why couldn't you just keep that shit pretty like that?
I have a theory. I don't know who I was discussing this with the other day. It might have been with some young street punks. I was like,
young street punks.
Get
off my lawn.
This generation coming up right now, and I had people that were like 22 agree with me. I was like, they're the first generation that's not cooler than the previous generation.
They're not cool.
Like, they're not cool at all. Like, I don't be like, they look like they have an elephant. I don't be at all.
Although I seen this interview with Ray Shrimmer, and they look like they having the time of their life.
Oh, they out there, bro.
Them niggas
they out there.
That is the weirdest shit ever. Did you see that?
I've seen and read many of their interviews. Those two little guys are out there.
You also got to think, bro, if you go from Tupelo, Mississippi to selling a gang of records, that's
where they from?
Yeah, like that's a huge step.
Dudes, caution to the wind. Damn, they should have. That's hilarious. Like, but yeah,
and they win.
They're still not cooler.
Nah, they're not. Like, I really like these cats. They do so much stuff. That was already done in the not just music, but fashion, everything. Like it's just longer and with zippers. Like this is the only thing. Like I'm like, dude, this is not. It ain't even longer. It's just has a baseball shirt cut. It's just instead of just being straight down. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is, man. I gotta ask you, because this is like the hot topic now, and you were a veteran. What do you feel, or you are a veteran, excuse me. How do you feel about the whole people coming down so hard on Colin Kaepernick for not standing up for the anthem, the 49ers quarterback?
Oh, I don't know them sports.
Yeah, that's why AD don't watch sports.
I know, but you've heard about.
No, we're going to explain this to him.
Okay, so Colin Kaepernick is he black to me. They call him biracial quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Okay. And for the last 3 preseason games, he hasn't stood up for the national anthem. And somebody just happened to ask him why, and it went viral because he was like, I don't feel that I should be standing up and honoring the flag of a country that is killing and oppressing black people and people of color at alarming rates. And he went on to, talk about the whole police brutality thing. And you could tell it wasn't from a position of animosity. It was from a position of like, dude, I'm really concerned. Like, it's messed up out here. And this is how I feel. So a whole bunch of people agree with him. A whole bunch of veterans. They called 1 million of them on sports shows. They agree. But of course, you already. And it was some people who was like, I agree with his motivation. I don't agree with him not honoring the flag. And some people said it in a certain way. But then Jerry Rice just came out and
what did he say?
Full on coon. Basically, hold on. I'm gonna pull up the tweet while you pontificate.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about this. How I feel about that. Oh, you want me to tell you? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. like, I get it. I guess I get it. Like, you don't understand or whatever, but it's not like.
Jerry Rice said, "All lives matter. So much going on in this world today. Can we all just get along? Colin, I respect your stance, but don't disrespect the flag."
Oh, I don't care about the flag. I mean, I was in the Army. I am a patriot. I like being in America. I like being an American.
And you've traveled the world, so you can really say that.
I'm into it.
I don't respect that, though, from people who ain't never been nowhere but Cancun.
Right. I like it. I'm into it. But for different reasons. There's plenty of things I like about America, which includes like my family is here, or my people is here. There's a ton of shit to love about America. The flag is not one of them. I don't care, man. I mean, I also don't. I'm not that impressed. Like you're not playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so you got a chance to say what you had to say. That's cool. That's good.
And I think that
bet she probably does a bunch of other stuff in between. So
right.
That's cool. I don't know how effective that is, but if he took 3 games and they finally asked him about it, and he was like, okay, good.
I think what it is,
pretty much Anthony David ain't gonna be out here burning no Colin Kaepernick jerseys.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I never heard of him. So, I mean, not
Yeah, we know you MMA.
Yes,
period. That's it.
Yeah.
And the NBA
sounds
finals.
like a thoughtful young fellow, and sure, why not?
Hilarious. Yeah, people was like really going in. I was like, y'all really pick what you want to be sensitive about. I think one of the dopest things I saw is this cat that writes for Golf Week, and he was like, so Colin Kaepernick is not standing up for the flag because he has issues with what's going on in America. Donald Trump has issues with what's going on in America, and y'all want to elect him president. He was like, that's white privilege at its highest extent.
Right.
And that's really what it boils down to. And that's a white dude saying it.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that just seems that I'm not into that form of a statement, though. It's like just stand up, dude. Go do something else when you feel like doing it or whatever. Like, but I guess if he wanted to really get the attention so he could say what he had to say that day,
and I think that's what it is.
That's cool.
I mean, it's literally gone viral. It's reached millions and millions of people, and
so every game now they're gonna watch to see if he decides to do it.
And then he'll probably do like Mahmoud Abdul Rauf did, and just not come out of the tunnel until after the anthem.
Yeah.
Which is, but the funny thing is, dude, if you've ever been to a sporting event, half the people don't stand up no way during the anthem.
What you know what's funny? I haven't been to something that did the national anthem in so long, and I went to we were playing Ultimate. That's my new sport at Piedmont, and the ASO was playing at the park, and then they did it. And I hadn't been to something like that in so long. I was actually a little impressed. Like, I was a little bit kind of like blown away. Like, oh, I forgot. Like,
are you talking about you playing Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah, I love Ultimate Frisbee. Yeah, y'all got to come out and play with me. It's great. It's my favorite thing.
I'm not throwing a Frisbee with you in the park.
What is Ultimate Frisbee? Like, what is
the best game in the world?
I know one other person. My ex's uncle played it, and he was breaking it down to me.
Have you ever played it?
No. What do I look like with another grown man throwing a Frisbee in the park?
No, but I mean, what makes it the
it's got
ultimate?
All the elements of what makes football fun to play and I watch, but fun basketball, because you got your pivot foot going on. Yeah.
So there's tackling?
No contact. That's what I'm saying. That's a good part.
It's not a sport thing.
But
you can't touch
I'll show you some highlights. You will be impressed.
They got highlights.
Yeah.
He's dead ass serious. I wish y'all could see his face.
Sport. Hold on. I'm going to show you right now. But we can keep talking.
So are there teams in Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah, you got 7-on-7.
What's your record?
Oh, I'm not that good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on a real, we play pickup. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
they have pickup Frisbee.
Oh, yeah. But it's just like going out to play basketball, except for you ain't well, you could get injured for sure, right?
How? Yeah. It's an eye contact.
You're going, if both people are going for a catch or something at the same time, and then they could run into each other type shit. But
it looks like
great for cardio. You can run around.
I'm sure it is. I believe that.
You gotta stay.
No, is this a Frisbee that you can just get at a toy store? They got special Frisbees.
Now it gets deep.
I know that they have. I do remember
out,
this. There's different types of Frisbees for different types of throws or whatever.
Let me correct you there.
Okay, my bad.
Frisbee is a brand name of a particular type of disc.
Okay.
Frisbee is made by Whammo.
Okay.
And that's their disc. There's other discs when you play Ultimate. Now, they use the Ultimate Frisbee word, but really you just say Ultimate.
Okay.
When you get deeper.
Hey, Shaw, this dude look kind of fine.
Let me see. we
are really like diving for catches. You know how you used to watch.
Hey, man.
When you watch like Jerry Rice or somebody going for the, trying to keep it in bounds, trying to catch it and keep it in bounds.
It kind of looks like rugby to an extent without the contact.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
You got to come out with me, bro.
I might do that, bro.
Hold on. Patagonia is a sponsor?
Maybe,
I see it up at the top of the thing.
So you get a disc and there's a regulation size. It's like 175 grams or something, milligrams, something like that. Anyway, but yeah, there's a disc and there's different throws because you got the, everybody know we do the backhand throw.
Yeah, now those are they called quarterbacks in this sport?
No, they got two positions. Handlers. We talking about ultimate on your podcast. We got handlers and cutters. Cutters are like wide receivers, you know what I'm saying? Handlers are the people that can really throw. And
I'm looking at how they throw. I was like, okay, they look like professionals.
A flick. I can't even do that yet. Like, you gotta learn how to do it.
I'd probably have to be one of the.
Now there's
what the catchers called again?
Cutters.
I'd have to be one of the cutters because those handlers look like they really know what they're doing.
But it takes a while. You should want to be a little bit of both because
I cannot believe we're actually discussing this. Continue.
Because it's just like. But there's a whole
Please
lot
keep listening.
Or like point guards and what forwards and centers and stuff. You want to be able to dish. You want to be able to, be open to get it. That's a cutter. You in order to be in position to throw a good one, you got to be a little bit of a cutter so you can be a great handler. You know what I'm saying? You got to be kind of open when you're throwing that joint. Like,
now, Ultimate Frisbee look fun. They was out there looking like Dez Bryant, Shawty.
I'm telling you, bro. This game is the shit. It's the future.
It was a bunch of 5'7" white dudes out there jumping together trying to
that's what I'm
Frisbee.
saying. That's the ill part though. When athletes come out, like it was, but
they were getting up in that video.
And there's some athletes that play now, but when you get like a dude that's like super tall to come out and you go, okay, he need to be a cutter because you don't want to be that. But then you can realize he can't read the disc. Like when it's up, the Frisbee flies different than a football. So if it passes you, you can go and chase it down. And you see people, or if it's coming at you and you don't know where it's going to land, like that's when you can't.
The people be out there jamming their fingers and stuff trying to catch.
A little bit, yeah, it's cool. It's a great sport. I'm telling you. Atlanta got a team, the Atlanta Hustle, and then they got the Chain Lightning. I've been into it. I don't know if I watched a few games. It's all right. I can't sell you on.
You rather watch MMA?
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, that was great. That's just a good.
What's
sport.
the next big fight?
Next big one, probably John Jones and
man.
He's not out. I mean, there's gonna be some weird shit going on with his suspension.
I tried.
You didn't watch John Jones,
dude.
You didn't watch the
he
Conor
gotta
McGregor?
Dude. He gotta stay clean.
Oh yeah, you saying you tried with John? Yeah, he's a mess, man. But he's the best.
I saw John Jones' first fight.
He's the best motherfucker to ever do that. Like,
so. He raw, but come on, bruh.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
you like whatever it is you doing better than you like money and stability for your family.
Yeah, but this time,
this time
might not be his fault because apparently they busted him on some kind of whatever PED, but they might be unsuspending him because there might have been something that was in. I think they just really want him in, so they're gonna figure out a way to get him in.
Yeah, for sure. Just like the whole Brock Lesnar thing.
Yeah,
it's like I'm never really surprised.
Which I'm all right with because I want to see him fight.
I'm never really surprised at the decision making of MMA fighters. I mean, if you look at their career path,
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not too surprised that they found some kind of drug on this guy. I'm not too surprised that he got into this trouble. Like, when you look at
I
their
personally feel
choice.
like it need to be like Portugal, man. Like all drugs are legal.
Oh, yeah, I'm with that,
for
too.
taking. Because my thing is, you ain't never met a dope fiend in your life who was like, you know what? I don't want no cocaine today. It's illegal. I'm gonna go to jail if I take it. I'm not gonna. There is not one person on earth who was like, oh, what, heroin is legal now? Shit, I'm finna go over there and, man, you got a needle, bruh? You got an extra needle? No, that doesn't happen. We got a whole bunch of people in jail for nonviolent offenses, and they ain't getting clean because you can get dope in jail too.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, well, I'm with that. I think they should be like having the doctors stand on the side and give them their props and everything. The ones that look, I put that in him. That's what made him run fast like that. We need to,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, look, bro, we got 3 months for this fight. I'm gonna tell you, Jenkins is taking steroids.
And as I'm getting
So
older,
it's up to
I want
you.
you to tell me what you gave him so I can figure out if I want to be 20 again.
Right.
Like speaking of steroids, kind of circling it back to music, man. Like,
Right.
Oh, you don't want to talk about Ultimate Frisbee anymore, Murray?
like
You the one watching the film. Oh, this look pretty dope. Now you want to bring it back to music.
but with streaming and everything, man, it seems like that's the new. You said, ugh. So I can imagine what
hell do steroids got to do with music streaming?
let me get my point across first.
My bad, bro. My bad.
I really want to hear this.
Yeah,
Streaming, like the way they count streams now, I think it's like every 1,500 streams counts as a sale. So you have artists like your Drakes going triple platinum off
selling
streams.
12 records.
Right. Then you have,
Oh,
artists like
that's why they saying triple platinum. I was like, damn, people buying albums.
Right. The streams amount into like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as an artist, your music is on different platforms and whatnot. How do you view streaming as an artist? Like, do you see it as a thing where, okay, this benefits me? I can see where, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
Or do you feel otherwise?
It's a couple things. So
Break it down.
Right. As a listener, I love it. Right. You could just somebody tell you about something, you could go listen to it. You know what I mean? As an artist, in one aspect, obviously I hate it because it took away some sales, but I also kind of like it because it does give you like. You don't have to make that. If I tell you, go listen to Chance the Rapper or something like that, and you don't got to think, man, I ain't buying it, so I ain't never going to hear him if he ain't playing on the radio. You can say, people keep telling me I need to listen to this Anderson .Paak. Let me play this shit. You could just go and do it, and then you can be sold. You know what I mean? But, yeah, like that exposure versus the sales, but it's just what it is. Like this is where we are. Music can be put into this little data format to where people could get it. And this streaming is like basically saying, okay, you ain't gonna pay such and such. Will you just please pay something?
Sign the treaty, baby. Sign the treaty.
That's all it is. And I think that I would like to see more people subscribe to their streaming service. Like, you know what I mean? Because you literally just get to hear all the damn songs of ever, for 10, 15
It still
bucks
be
a
stuff
month.
that's not on there. And I peeped, dude, I still own a gang of CDs, but you switch computers, switch phones. You don't
Yeah, right.
feel like putting stuff back on there. So I wanted to hear Get In Where You Fit In from Too Short the other day. So I was like, I subscribed to Apple Music.
They
Let me
have it.
just go. No, it's on there, but they took off the
Songs
song.
are missing, songs are
Yeah, they
missing.
took off the song with Bad Influence where they dissing Pooh Man. That's my favorite song on the album.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, that's weak.
Yeah, sometimes songs disappear because of clearance issues
Right.
that popped up, or
Yeah.
For the longest, wasn't
But
no
compared-
Death Row stuff.
But
on none
compared
of
to
this stuff.
all the joints, like if I just I got into like this is what I do. I might be walking through the airport or through Ross or some weird shit like that, and be like, "Ooh, Soundhound a song." Be like, "Oh yeah, that's that song from I don't know, homie in the '70s, some white dude." I never really knew all his stuff, but I knew that one song. Then I can go, let me find out what else he got. I'm like, damn, he's jamming. Like I could really, really get into that guy. He got his whole catalog, and so they missed some stuff, but they got a lot of stuff. Like,
I will say this.
that's how I got into Gary
I
Clark
think
Jr.
two things. I think like when Eric Roberson was on Yo Boy, we were talking about like what is the next thing, and I think that it might be like just artists having their own subscription service, which would be dope. Which I think would definitely work for an artist like you. Like, cause you got to think, bro.
I think you just it's like having your own video channel and not being on YouTube. Just be on YouTube. That's where everybody go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think for the hardcore fan, it's like, all right, if you want to give me,
yeah, but I get it. I get that, but I think it's too exclusive in this era of the internet. Like, you got to be on the thing that everybody is at. Like, they don't come just for you. They come for everything. And then they go, that's what I'm tripping on, like $10, $15 a month. You get everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything. So I can't not be on Spotify because I know it ain't just for my album. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's for this song. And then you want to take my song. You might not even want to hear my whole album. Just take that song and put it with this guy's song. I'm cool with that. Like,
right.
I get it, but I get how look. I want to make a lot of money, but it ain't. We don't have that kind of demand power. Like, where you talking? Come to my subscription service. Okay, you get a few people doing that, but you want people to discover you. You want to be in the canon of music. You want to be there in the room. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I think the only artist that's like, I don't know if people gauge what he's doing as successful yet. He definitely does. But like Ryan Leslie has a you have to come to my website, download my app to get the music. It's not on any other platform. And it's like, according to him, he's like, bro, I made $1 million off the same,
he has some people. Like crazy. So he was like, and then you can come to my New Year's Eve party in Transylvania or something like that at Dracula House or something like that.
And I don't doubt that he didn't make any money, especially at first, because he's a genius.
That's real.
Like a wizard. But I think there's a
people still want to hear Diamond Girl at the end of the day.
Like, sure do. I do. You know what I'm saying? But I just think they got us by the balls. I mean, literally. Also, on top of it, and by that they, I mean the consumers, because also what they get. I think is a bigger aspect to it. We are up against all the recorded music ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, I guess you could say up against, like, if nobody recorded another song, you could still just play and never and hear new shit every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so people, like, when you go to Spotify, you don't just get all the new artists. You get Marvin Gaye. And for a dude that's 16, it's like, who is this Marvin Gaye?
Right.
You know what I mean? Whenever you hit a certain age, you want to know something about all this old school stuff. You can do that. And then you can, and that is what and everybody's in everybody's head that they don't make no good music no more. So they can do that and go listen to the old thing. And then they could listen to whatever little new thing come out to. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Powerful Now. I had to plug that. You know what I mean? You're just adding on. But the digital people have the advantage because there's a ton of recorded music already out there. And from all parts of the world. Like old blues, old Brazilian stuff. Like, you could just get lost in that stuff. And as a music lover, I like that. So how can I really be that mad?
Yeah, because like, I'm involved in a mentorship program, and I was talking to one of the students that I'm involved with, and she was like, yeah, man, I'm listening to some classical Japanese.
Right.
I was like, what?
I didn't even know that existed.
That sounds interesting. Right. Let me type this in and see what I can find. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, ma.
Yeah, right. That's like me with like, since I started liking Afrobeat, I got the bombest Afrobeat Spotify playlist, by the way. We should probably tag that into
That's cool. I mean, I'm not on Spotify, but I need to. You need to put me on to some stuff.
But then I also was like, well, let me listen to some Hot Life, some old, something in Ghana from 70-something or 60-something. This dude told me about Rex Lawson. I'm like, let me listen to Rex Lawson. Let me listen to Ebenezer Obey or whatever kind of like, and I could just listen to them. And I'm like, damn, I could lison to this for the rest of my life. I don't have to hear nothing else new. Right. And I'm over here making an album and like part of that's in my mind sometimes, like, what is anybody going to listen to that for? But I like it. But obviously, I like what I'm doing, and that, like, there's reasons to listen to new music because it speaks directly to you. But you are still in this whole range of stuff that's been around, and you know what I mean. Like, you're not gonna put somebody on to songs in the key of life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, that's real.
right. Like, I remember when I wanted to hear, I was like, I used to ask these old white dudes where I was working at, why do I know who the Rolling Stones are? Play me a joint. You know what I mean? They played me Sympathy for the Devil. I was like, oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to know about the Beatles? What's so important about them? They can play me. Like, that's what's gonna happen. That's happening right now. Some kid needs to hear that shit. Does he have to buy that to do it? I guess. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if he could get it,
I just still think it's. That's what I wanted to ask you, especially because we're talking about record sales. But the one area where sales are surging is wax. So have you thought about putting out your joint on wax?
Nah, I am gonna do something for, like, mostly just as merch. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that's into that, you know, that'll do that. You know,
I think that'll be dope.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you always on the road. Any official tour coming up this summer or fall? I should say, summer's almost over. Or are you gonna do spot dates or what? Yeah, damn, that was good time. A good question. That there's a really good answer that I can't remember the full name. There is a Soul Fest like the one we just did this past summer. That basically. That did very well and is spreading. So I'm on a few of those dates around the country, and also, you know, my own tour. I just got a new agent, so I'm kind of working all that stuff out. But it's looking good. And I'm right now I'm on a radio tour, so I'm like Mississippi and all these places. Right. You know what I'm saying? Places where they still have urban AC stations.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
You know, so, but the record's doing good. I mean, the single is, and the record, good response. I like the response because I was really just wanting to get a little elbow room for my creativity. And I just wanted to do stuff I liked that maybe people didn't know I really liked, you know what I'm saying? And I tried to do it as legit and the best I could, you know what I mean? And do honor to all the genres or whatever. And so I think people get that. Like, that's what I was worried about because, people just take it however they want. But it seems like they understand that. People have their playlists. People do, they like different genres. I like different genres. I can do them. So I did it.
No doubt. Appreciate you coming through, man. Let them know where they can find you and keep up with what's going on with you.
On the Instagram, it's the Anthony David ATL. Anthony David on Facebook. Rollin' Mojo is the website. And that's it.
No SoundCloud, no?
Oh, yeah, I have a SoundCloud. Do they still have SoundCloud? I ain't been to my SoundCloud page in a while.
People use SoundCloud a lot. That's how a lot of people discover new music.
I thought it was getting shut down or something. Nah. That's why. I really did.
No, they did start yanking stuff off there. Like they started yanking like DJs mixes out there.
They yank stuff off because the people who own SoundCloud own the music too. And they don't
right.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I thought there was some kind of confusion with that, so I stopped talking about them.
Oh, okay. Right. We don't get nobody in trouble.
Right. No, I don't know. But I ain't got no issue with it. But that's where I put random stuff that I like. If you was on my SoundCloud, you probably would have heard a few of those things on this album coming up anyway.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm on that. I'm still on MySpace.
Damn.
I don't be on MySpace, but I'm on there.
Black Planet, Mi Gente, all of that.
I have Snapchat, but it's just for looking at girls.
That's hilarious. So, we appreciate you coming through, bro. Most definitely. You listen to Day One Radio on ABLradio.com. Make sure you come and see us every Wednesday at Slice on Piedmont for Hip Hop Trivia and